Welcome back to All Things EVM, guys. We're going to go over the farms of the week again, so let's jump right on into it. I gotta be honest, this week was an absolute mess. However, we still made out with 4% weekly APRs on our assets. Now, our assets did drop 14% as the market did tank, but it did jump back up. I'm still I'm bummed that we lost 14% on our total assets. However, I'm pretty stoked to be going into this next week, as I do think we will see better results over the next week or two as we go into the halving event on the 20th through the 22nd. We'll see when that actually ends up happening. But let's go through this quick, guys. This might not be quick as there's a lot going on here. I did switch a lot. I did end up making decent gains the last 2 to 3 days of the week as things got crazy. So volatility means more fees, right? So with the volatility going down in the market, the price dumping, everybody panicking, a lot of selling going on, there's a lot of fees to be made. So let's jump into the results. On Extra Finance, we ended up with $93 in gains on that specific pool. Now, Extra Finance, if you're not familiar, is on the base chain, and I've got 2 pools, and both of them have been running most of the week. Although I think I had USDC and Aero in Beefy for most of the week, I did swap it over to Extra just to make it simple for me to see here. Now, the daily on that is 0.64% on the USDC to Aero and 1% a day on Extra to WETH. And I'd like to hold these positions. The Extra WETH position is boosted with a borrow position. So I'm actually down overall as the price of ETH is down, and that's what I've borrowed. I'm leveraged 2.25% on this pool with an ETH borrow, but I do think this will go up eventually, guys. So I'm just going to hold on to this until we're way into the profits. I think I put originally like $1,500 in this pool, and it's gone down a bunch, but I've made a lot of farming rewards over this last 3 weeks. And I think this USDC Aero pool is just going to do fantastic for me. I've been in USDC Aero on different platforms. I've been on Extra, been on Beefy, and in Aerodrome itself. So we're pretty confident in this one, guys. But let's move back to the list here. Again, 1% a day there, which is great. I'm going to hold on to that into the next week. We have our Need Clio farm over on Mantle. Now, this is a kind of a special one, guys. It's through the Ennead farm, which is built on top of Cleopatra Dex, which is in turn a fork of Ramses Dex. I'm a huge fan of Ramses and all that they do, and I'm sticking here with a bunch of Need Clio inside of the Clio Dex, and so I'm making 78% APR this week. This will fluctuate quite a bit. Should see over 100% APR in the following week, as I assume all that volatility should in turn move into gains here. So 100% APR is not great in comparison to all of my other farms. However, I am sitting on some alpha, and I think with the transition from NeedRam to Abacus is going to be advantageous for the price of not only Cleopatra Dex. Cleopatra Dex is doing phenomenal. So is Nile on Linea. All of these are forks of Ramses. The price of them is going up right now, and so I'm writing the price movement of those underlying, but then the peg on NeedRam to, or sorry, Need Clio to Clio is about 0.6 to 1 right now, and I do believe that will go all the way up to full peg, so I'm looking for that double up, right? So I think that's going to happen closer to August, but I'm going to ride this out until then, making some gains in the process. Similarly, over on TimeSwap, this has been a long ride of a pool. This was originally like 1100% APR, so I jumped into it there, and then now it's only at 68%. However, that 68%, I believe, is in Mantle rewards, where we're actually also getting some other rewards as well. We've got some time rewards, and this is going up on the daily. I'm only making like $5 a day in Wrapped Mantle here on a pretty. This has been a up and down pool because of the underlying Mantle, and that's down here, the MNT METH time swap pool. I started with $4,200 in here, or $4,188, and I'm down to $3,407, but that's based on the price of Mantle. I do think Mantle's going to come back as the market moves up. Let's actually go to Mantle here. Yeah, there was a nice range that we were trading in, doing some swap or some LPing inside of Cleopatra decks, where I made a bunch of fees in here. And if it comes back into this range, I might do the same again. But right now I'm just holding that Mantle because I'm looking for a spike like this. I don't want to LP so much with Mantle right now. And I think we're going to see that relatively soon, guys. Mantle is a very nice asset. It's the gas token on the Mantle network, and staking has been going on, which has been fantastic for the price. And I think we'll see continued price movement in the right direction there on the Mantle token. So I'm happy to hold this, even though I'm getting pretty garbage APR. I think it's going to be worth it over the long run as we see some appreciation in the principal and grow this. Now, I probably will pop out of this platform when the term is up on this. I think we're set to, what's the term limit on this? I think my current position matures in 1 month. So I still have a month for 4 or 5 weeks of this left. If the price of, there's this interesting detail here. If it goes underneath the price of 2,000 METH to wrapped Mantle, I'm actually going to end up with more METH instead of wrapped Mantle at the end of this, which I'm happy to hold either one. And that's why I'm in this pool. And the rewards were so good up front, like 1,100% for the first week. So kind of writing this out, it's slowed down quite a bit. But again, I want to hold Mantle instead of LP Mantle right now. So let's get back to this. I wanted to show you these VE Clio and VE RAM positions and how garbage they are for what small allocations I have. I recommend, guys, any of you who are farming Ramses or Cleopatra or Nile or any of the Ramses forks, there's Pharaoh over in Avalanche as well, and then they're going to be launching a couple new ones on Fractal and on Scroll. But amazing APRs, guys, but I recommend you dump those tokens. The Nile token, the Clio token, and the Ram token are for whales. If you're going to do these VE Clio, VE Ram positions, I highly recommend that you stay out of them. Just farm and dump or get into something like Need Ram or Need Clio and get the APRs there, because those guys have a much bigger chance of winning some great rewards in the pools, and your APRs go up dramatically. Because I got 0.4 or 40 cents on a $275 position on VE Clio this week, and only $3 on a $949 position. I ended up selling it for $350, which was a massive loss. But I wanted to get out of this. This was 4-year locked, guys, so I got out. I'm holding on to this VE Clio position, but I'll probably convert it into Need Clio at some point, take another massive hit on that, but at least it's a small position. But I wanted to show you that these are pretty worthless unless you have some massive NFTs or massive positions in VE. Voting escrowed is what VE stand for. So stay out of those, guys. I think whale games is what whales are good at, and these are whale games, guys. So I recommend rolling those over into their underlying and either selling them off or throwing them into the NEAD moving forward. Now, this one's awesome. YFX, if you're not familiar, is the Yield Farming Index. Yield Farming Index is run by none other than Yield Farming or Delucinator on X, a classic, just a fantastic, pardon the French, but shit poster on X, and fantastic guy. Goes by ND in Discord as well. Just has a claim to fame as a massive yield farming success, especially with 3/3 dexes like Ramses or Aerodrome or Velodrome, right? So inspiration for sure. But his token, the YFX governance token, does have a 1% tax, guys. So knowing that, you gotta figure that into your transaction. But right now, even with the price fluctuation, I made some serious gains towards the end of the week here. $100 in one day on the YFX ETH pool in Nile. Right now, that is getting something like 2,000%. And because it's a tax token, it's actually not concentrated liquidity. Think 2,000% APR would have to be on concentrated liquidity. Well, it's actually full range, guys. And so we're swapping directly out of YFX into ETH, getting very low impermanent loss on this because it's such a wide gamut on that position. And we're already up $118. Is that serious? That is crazy, guys. I've got $2,400 in here. I literally just put this in this morning. I can't believe that I've actually got $120 in, like, I think it's only been an hour, maybe an hour and a half. That's nuts. So that doesn't seem right, but we're going to stay in this pool as long as we possibly can because those fees are insane. Unless the price of Nile just shot up like bat out of heck. Let's see here. Nile token's up 30% at $1.94. However, I put it in the pool like just 10 cents ago, so it is up considerably from when I put it in. So the APR doesn't seem to be fluctuating quite quickly enough because it's definitely more than 2,000% APR if I've made $100 in like the last hour on a $2,400 LP. But I am happy, guys. That's amazing. Don't dilute me. Again, YFX is the token for the Yield Farming Index. There, want to be careful there. Again, there's 1% tax on the in, 1% tax on the out. Do be careful, but this guy's been around for over a year running this protocol, and I expect it to do well in this environment. So get into their Discord, do some research on your own, not financial advice, guys. I'm also in this MNT pool, MNT to ETH. Now this is a total degen pool. The calculation's not even correct here. I've got actually $1,000 worth of deposits, and so the calculator's not working there. Let's see if we actually get an APR. Yeah, 3,300%. Just insane rewards on these pools right now. 33%. I've had this in since I think I claimed this morning, so I've made another $4 in Nile. I do expect to make about, let's see what I made last. I mean, yeah, $71 yesterday on this same position. About $1,000 is making $70 to $100 a day. Insane. I'll probably make less. I think I'm on a wider pool than I was yesterday, but that's going to be great. You know, if I make 25 to 50 bucks on 1,000 in a day, that's pretty insane. All right, so next up, let's see what I've covered. YFX, I covered the MNT ETH Nile pool just now. USDC Aero isn't in. I got out of that. It was actually that's what I'm in currently. I was in the beefy. That's right. The beefy was actually making me closer to 1% a day, and currently the extra pool is making 0.6. I may move that on to something else throughout the week, but I wanted to jump into something really consistent. And Aero is probably going to go up in price, so I'm holding that for that specific reason. Already covered time swap. Now this Sol Orca thing, you know, it's out of range right now. I've just got it in there just to keep track of it. I might take it out. Solana's been a bear. If you've been in Solana in the last week and a half, guys, it's been so troublesome. Liquidity is running out of it because transactions are just dropping left and right. I think they fixed it for the most part, but it's still not great. In fact, I had this wormhole Meteora position, wormhole to Sol in Meteora. I'm farming this as an airdrop farm. All the W tokens that I have in this pool, I got like a $4,000 airdrop at launch. Ended up realizing at $3,500 to put it into this W Sol pool. And it's down to like $1,700 now. So massive hit on that. But thankfully it's free money, guys. I didn't put any extra, like besides the transactions I did in Wormhole, that was all the effort. And that's still a profit for me, guys. $1,700 free money for doing some transactions that I would have normally done anyway was pretty great. I do expect W token to just jump in price at some point when staking is involved. So I'm going to be watching this pool. I might add it to the below here, although I don't want to really include it because it was free money. I don't really want to include it in this this calculation down here, but I might track it for good reason or for good measure. Next, last and really kind of not least at all, I've got a decent chunk of money on the Binance Smart Chain farming ETH to USDT, and that's on the Thena protocol right now. I'm going to jump between Thena and Pancake, depending on what's got the better APRs right now. ETH to USDC or BNB USDT. These are both on the Binance Smart Chain currently, and I'm playing with this inside of inside of Krystal. Krystal is an aggregator. I just made a video on it last week, so check that out if you haven't watched it already. They've got an airdrop farming program. In fact, I'll put the link in the description to get into their airdrop on this. Now I'm getting 5x points on Thena as long as I'm zapping in through Krystal here. And so I'm actually ranked 151. I'm not sure what the total number is, but I think there's tens of thousands of people farming this. And I'm 151 because of that rank up. That 5x rank in Thena is huge. And then I've been doing all of my swaps and cross-chain swaps, or aka bridging, through Krystal when possible. And so I'm massively farming this airdrop. But cool thing about Krystal is it shows your positions here, and you can zap in and zap out of LPs. I've been using this specifically for this ETH to USDT and the BNB to USDT pools over on the Binance Smart Chain. So decent rewards there, not super high. I think I'm making somewhere in the neighborhood of 0.5% a day, which is not great. I might move that around, but again, I'm farming this like an airdrop, so that's the goal here. All right, let's get into the next week here. I'm going to keep a lot of these pools that I've already got liquidity in. Extra WETH is going to keep flying for me. Need Clio, obviously, for good reason. We're expecting that double up again in the LP or in the underlying Need Clio token going to parity with Clio tokens. YFX to ETH, again, is just outperforming. I'm already up like $100 today. That's insane. Considering my goal is to make about 200 a day in order to get over $1,000 weekly rewards and then cash out 1,000 every single week. In fact, I'm going to stash 1,000 from last week, and then be able to pay myself. This is passive income, guys. Relatively passive. It's like running a business, but there's a lot less to do. Maybe a couple hours a day tops is what I'm doing in this. Checking in the morning, checking in the evening, and adjust when necessary. So with that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I think that covers it for today. I will give you an update next week on how this farm goes. And if I change anything and I get a wild hair, man, I will definitely pop in and do an update. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this. Make sure to check the links in the description below. I've got a course for getting started in yield farming if you're complete noob to this and just maybe have some assets on Coinbase or something and want to move them on chain and start yield farming. Highly recommend that. It's $49 for a 10 video course that gets you step by step all the way on to chain and then into your first couple farms. I cover XtraFi in that and that pool that I believe the Aero to USDC pool is actually featured in there and how to get into that and how that works. So do check that out. I'm also a part of a yield farming co-op. Guys, we're doing a 49-week challenge right now. It is a monthly subscription of $152 a month, but it's a community that gives you information on how to get into yield farming, gets you started, gives you a lot of educational content, but also there are admins like myself in that group that are weathered yield farmers that know how this system works, how to make an income with it, and it's a great passive income source for anybody who's got crypto assets. So do check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, have a great week and God bless.